Yeah, so, I mean, 6 touchdowns. I'm sure you just expected that, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. You expect it. You hope what you've got in as your game plan is successful, and that was a good showing, and those plays were really good to us, and he found ways to get in the end zone.
I'm wondering what it was like for you, building this program and having Wyatt last year, and then Preston, I'm sure, learn from him. What was it like seeing Preston prepare for this junior year of his?
Yeah, I think he had a really good sophomore year at our JV, and I think he took major steps there last year. And then knowing coming in this summer that he was going to have to improve on certain things, he worked on those things and got where he could make his reads better and faster. And he's done a good job of being a leader. And Wyatt was a great football player and really did a great job of leading his team, and not a vocal leader, just by example. And stayed calm. And I think Preston saw those things and saw how successful he was based on just work ethic, and hopefully carry those things on.
Our web editor, Chris Parker, before I came out for the story, he showed me video. He was slowing it down, watching the defensive end crash, and then that's when he pulled out and ran.
Right.
And it's that split second, right? How do you teach that, and when did you know that he was going to be great at that?
Just a lot of reps. We do a lot of that stuff in the summer, just rep after rep of reading different guys. Sometimes it's the end, sometimes it's the tackle, sometimes it's the three tag. We read all different spots, and you just got to rep it till you understand it and realize. You got to keep the mesh as long as you can, and he was doing a good job of that, of really having the mesh with his fullback, and then was able to pull it. And when he did, he had space. The offensive line did a good job of creating that room, and he pulled it and was able to get yards each time.
I was a defensive end grown-up coach, and I hated that play so much.
Yeah, it's tough for sure.
So, okay, so a rematch with Webb coming up here. I mean, I remember that game. It just kind of felt like whoever had the ball last was going to win. And then you guys had that great play on defense at the end. Talk about what this game means to you guys.
Yeah, anytime you play them, it's a big game. It's a storied program and a lot of tradition, and they play extremely hard. And we've had some big games the last 2 years in the playoffs with them, and so and last year at home, they put it on us first game. I mean, they hammered us. So our kids understand what level of team they are each and every year, and so. Excited for the opportunity. Know it's going to be a great game, and we're going to play extremely well.
I know last year's team was so special, and I'm trying to think of how to ask this question without blatantly just saying how do they compare. But what are some of the things that you see that's similar to this team and maybe different from last year?
They're similar in a lot of ways. Obviously it's a lot of new faces. I think we graduated 19 starters from a year ago. So our strengths are a little bit different areas. But they play hard. That's a thing that carried over. And we told the kids that, we want the intangibles to carry over from that senior class. Whether it's a new face in there or not, like we want to play hard, we want to work hard, and all those things that senior class, kind of set that tone. They've carried on with and have done well with it.
And what would you say, just in general, makes Preston so special?
I think he's very athletic. I think he's a competitor. I think if you watch him on Friday nights, he's really just trying to compete, trying to win the game. Whether he's throwing the ball, running the ball, or handing it off, I just think it's important to him to be successful. Just like a lot of our kids, like if you play for us, you understand you got to be very unselfish. We don't. 1 week it's one guy, and the next it could be the next guy. So being unselfish, being a good teammate. And then just trying to find ways to win, whether that's pounded every play or whatever we got to do. He's done a nice job of it.